You want to see how I get this smoky, deep eye look for your last minute New Year's Eve plans? Then stay tuned. All right, so let's do a smoky New Year's Eve eye using the Pretty Grunge palette from Huda Beauty, and then, which is a $70 palette. And then we're gonna pit it against, I'm gonna do one eye with the Huda, I'm gonna do one eye with this Alter Ego Misthaven, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Pretty Grunge. So I'm gonna do one eye with this and one eye with this, and we are going to see how it looks and give you some inspiration for a New Year's Eve truly smoky eye for us mature ladies. So let's start writing our beauty story for today. So I am going to be using a lot of just products that I'm comfortable with, that I know really well. There are 4 new products I will be using today that I haven't tried before. And the first one will be this Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. As you guys know, I've been trying some foundation sticks recently, and this one has had such high praise that it was worth investing in for me. You guys know I'm a drugstore girly through and through, so this is a definite splurge for me, but I wanted to give it a try since I'm kind of in this trying these foundation sticks out. And then we have the new Revolution Beauty Jelly Blush Lip and Cheek Stain, and this is in the color Cherry, and I believe that this is supposed to be a dupe for the Mario ones that came out back in the summertime, I think. So we're gonna give that a try. And then I'm gonna do a lip combination. I'm gonna try the Milani Color Fetish Matte in the new color Flush that was just released. So if you saw my community post, I showed you the 3 new colors. So I picked up the color Flushed. And then I also picked up the Glow Reviver Glimmer Finish Lip Oil from e.l.f. And this is in the color Divine Wine. So we're gonna go with a little more neutral lip since we're doing a pretty dramatic eye for New Year's Eve. And let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my all-time favorite Holy Grail status concealer. And this is the Pretty Fresh ColourPop concealer. And I believe this is in, and as you can see, like I've worn off the lettering. That's how much I've used this, and it's probably time to get a new one. Fair 10N. I love this one. I just love how creamy it is, how nourishing it is under the eye. And for us mature girlies who need to cover up a little bit of darkening, this will brighten up the eyes as well as cover the dark circles we can tend to get under our eye. Now, I've shared recently that I have stopped putting concealer on the outside because of my fine lines and wrinkles. I just blend it out so that there's less creasing, because girls, you know, they can say, oh, it's crease proof, but us girls with fine lines and wrinkles, no, nothing is absolutely 100% crease proof. So I am just gonna go ahead and let that sit for a second. I'm gonna use my N16 Nikki LaRose brush. And I would love to know in the comments below, as I pat this in, what are your New Year's Eve plans? Are you going out, going to friend's house? Are you going out to dinner and celebrating? What are your New Year's Eve plans? I think that I will just be cozying up at home, watching probably some sort of romantic comedy movie, and be well asleep before the new year comes in. That is my plans for New Year's Eve. But if I was going out, and I was going out with friends or going out for dinner, then I would totally be doing this look for that. But I definitely plan to just cozy on in and just take it easy for New Year's Eve this year. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put on a little bit of this e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, just to kind of give my skin a little bit of color and coverage before I put on the foundation, and it gives a little bit of glow. I believe that this foundation stick is a little more on the natural or matte side. So let's see here. I'm gonna go in with my, I think it's F45, F48 soft coverage brush from Sigma. You guys know. If this is your first time here, I just love the Sigma brushes. They are just such high quality. You know, they're a little more on the pricey side, but if during the holidays, maybe next year, if you're interested in investing, they have really, really great sales during Black Friday and Cyber Monday and leading up to the holidays. They are an amazing investment and they are extreme quality. They're gonna last you a long time, so they're definitely worth investing in. So I got that e.l.f. rubbed, patted in. So I think I have this in, I believe this is the olive tone. So this is shade 3.5 medium. And I think on the website, it says that it's more for olive skin, which works great for me. Okay, so now let's go in with this Fenty stick and let me see what it says on here. If it has any claims on here. Blurs and evens complexions, light coverage, and a smooth glide stick. I got the color 6. I think this was probably the closest one. You know, the lighting in Ulta or Sephora's is not always the most conducive to finding the right shade, but I think I kind of went by the window to see. I think this is probably going to be the best color match for me. I believe that this is more of the neutral tone. It actually might even be the cool one. Let's see, sometimes they make these so hard to get into. They're so well packaged that they're hard to get into. So let me see if I can get this open without there we go. So I love the packaging on this. It's just so pretty. It's got the gold lettering on it, and then it's really important that if you get these type of cream products that are a stick foundation, or you even noticed when I opened up this blush, something that tends to be a little more emollient. They come with these little caps, and if you want to save your products from drying out, then it is a really great idea to save these little caps and put them back on after you're done, just because it does save it from drying out too fast. Oh, that's nice. And I'm putting this on kind of like I would put on my contour because of the type of product it is. I'm probably putting on too much. But it feels very creamy on the skin. Doesn't feel drying. It went on smooth. So I'm just actually going to use that same brush that I put on the e.l.f. with. And one of the reasons I really like the e.l.f. is it does give a really nice glow to the skin. And I use this a lot in the summertime to give me just a little bit of coverage, but give me that glow. And I really fell in love with that product during the summer. So I love how this is blending in. It is just seamlessly going into the skin. And I like that a lot. we'll see. Now, if you're doing a last minute New Year's Eve, you know, something like this, you know, I won't be wear testing like I normally do, because this is just kind of be that last minute put together look for going out. But I will try maybe to do a short. I am in 2025, which is just what, a few days away. I will be launching a short on Fridays called Foundation Friday. And so I'll be using one foundation all week long and giving you different application methods and what I think of it, and then what I think at the end, how it held up during the days of wear, and go from there. So I'm excited about that. But this went on so nice. I think it looks really pretty on the skin. I think that's a good color for me right now. Maybe during the summer, I would have to go up if this is a product that I feel like I want to work into my everyday routine or into a routine that I am trying more often. So I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with that. So I'm just going to use my Holy Grail ColourPop contour stick in Laguna Beach. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to go a little more heavy-handed here. Again, this is for a nighttime look for going out and having a great time for New Year's Eve. Or if you're doing a date night and you want to get really glammed up, this look would definitely work for that as well. So here we go. And then I'm going to use my Sigma Kabuki Airbrush F85 just to blend this in. So something else I'd love to know in the comments, what was your favorite Christmas gift? Did you have anything on your list beauty-wise that you got that you're like super excited to try? Have you played with it already? I'd love to know what you guys maybe have asked for and received for Christmas that is something that you were really, really wanting for Christmas. Love to know that in the comments below as well. All right, so we've got that all blended in. Now, let's go ahead and we're gonna try. I'm a little nervous about this product because it is a stain, and I'm afraid that it's gonna be really super pigmented and strong, but we're gonna give it a try. So this is the Jelly Blush Lip Stain. I don't think it has really any claims on it. I'm just gonna kind of tap my finger. So you can see it's a little more of a like a reddish pink. I'm gonna kind of rub it in and see. I mean, it's probably gonna stain pretty effectively your your skin. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tap my brush into it directly, so that it kind of doesn't go on so strong, because I can be heavy-handed. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of tap it off on my hand just to make sure here. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. I think it's better that you go directly to a brush than probably trying to put this directly on your face, just because I think if you're not fast enough, it could stain and be a little more challenging to blend out because it seems to be drying pretty quickly. Let's see here. I mean, that's a pretty color. I mean, it's a cherry. It's a little more on the red side, but it's still very flattering. I like that. I definitely think you need to go with the brush directly to the product versus trying to put this directly on your face. But there's kind of what it looked like when I tapped it off on my hand. Okay. Oh, and this was my my favorite brush from Amazon that I use and love. Use it primarily for my liquid or cream blushes. it's one of the best out there I have found, next to my Sigma brushes, but that one just has the right angle for me. Love it. And it's normally on sale. I think you can get it for like $8 and it comes with 3 brushes. So I always look for that type of stuff to go on sale. All right, so let's do the eyes next. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this Pretty Smart eye primer to just really kind of amp up our look. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and then we'll play with the palettes, which I'm super excited about. Alter Ego is a brand that tends to do a fairly decent job of duplicating or very similar, creating products that are very similar to very high end. The Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette is $69 and the Misthaven palette by Alter Ego is $24. I'd much rather spend $24 than $70 on something, but this color story was so spectacular. And you guys know me, I'm all about the eyes, and I will invest in eyeshadow palettes if the color story is just like spectacular and I think it's something that I'm going to get a lot of use and value out of. Now this one probably hasn't been that one, but I do like the color story, and so I do want to give it more of a shot in 2025. But if the cheaper palette holds up just as well as the expensive palette, that's the palette I will be using. So let's go ahead and get my eyebrows on. I am going to pencil in with my NYX micro brow pencil in Cool Ash Brown. And then I'm going to draw in a few eyebrow hairs with my Maybelline Build-A-Brow. And then I'm going to use the Maybelline Super Lock just to lock those in, especially if you're going out for New Year's and you're dancing and you're having a good time. This is going to hold, these are going to lock down your brows. They ain't going anywhere. So we'll go ahead and I'll just get this put on, switching to my magnifying mirror. You know how that is. So have you set any New Year's resolutions yet? I know we're just a few days away from the new year, and I was curious, do you have any New Year's resolutions when it comes to your beauty routine or your style? I'm super excited to be launching my podcast called Dress with Purpose. You can find it on any of your podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on Google Play, I think is what it's on. And so I am going to be doing a podcast on style resolutions and creating some strategies on creating a some resolutions around your style for 2025. I'm super excited about that. So that will be launched actually on New Year's Day. So I will link that down in the description below so that if you're interested, I'm super excited about kicking off that podcast. And I've got lots of great things in the works, super excited about, that I can't wait to bring to you guys. Just for us ladies in our midlife, there's just lots of things that we experience, that we go through, you know, with our style, with our beauty, with our shape of our body, our confidence. So I'm excited about launching that. And the first episode will be live on New Year's Day. So excited, so excited. Okay, so I've got that on. Let's draw in a few hairs here. I was thinking about maybe trying to do this a little more hybrid look. I do need a little more help in filling in, kind of drawing in my brows and then using, you know, a pen like this to kind of give me some more hair-like strokes that a pencil can do sometimes, but I find that these pens, these fine pens, do a really nice job of mimicking hair strokes. And there are a few areas that I have that are pretty sparse that this does a nice job of filling them in a little bit. And it makes the eyebrows, you know, the eyebrows are really the frame for your eyes. And so the eyebrows are important, and spending a little time on them is good because they do frame out your eye looks. Now you may or may not be a glam girl like me who likes to do dramatic eye looks all the time. But it's still important, even if you're doing a more minimal look, to really work on your eyebrows and framing your eyes. I just think it adds such a layer of dimension and just really does make your eyes stand out, which personally I love to do. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this alter ego. I probably won't be able to give you all the colors or all that, but I'll tell you which ones I'm picking out of which ones. Okay, so here is the Misthaven, and let me open the Huda Beauty one as well. Now this, I'm pretty impressed. That has some weight to it. This one even has the cream shadow in it, so it's very similar. So here is the Huda, and here is the Misthaven next to each other. I mean, that's pretty similar. In fact, I think I like the way they storied or put the package together for the Alter Ego Misthaven one. I like the way that it's arranged and aligned, more like how you would do your eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Huda Beauty on this, which for me is my left eye, but as you're seeing it, probably my right. And then I'm going to use the Misthaven on my right eye, and as you're seeing it, probably on the left. So let's get started. I think I'm going to, let's see here. Let me get my Sigma brush and my switch. So let's see. I think I'm going to start out with Beauty Chaos in the Huda Beauty and Plum in the Misthaven. So this color right here and this color right here as my crease color. And I will use two different brushes so that I'm not cross-contaminating. Let me see, I got another one of these. Let's do these two. So we'll use these brushes here. So this is the Beauty Chaos. And go ahead and we'll put that up in my brow bone. I have very deep set eyes, and I do have a little bit of hooding on this eye. And I tend to have a bit of real estate up on top. So my crease color really isn't the crease. I don't put it in my crease. I actually use the darker shade to go into my crease. So I use what they would call a crease color a little further up on my brow. So okay, so there's the Huda Beauty. And now we're going to use the Misthaven Plum. Interesting. There was more kickback with the Huda one than the Misthaven one. Interesting. Okay. Oh, wow. This is going on really nice. I would say right off the bat that the Huda one is probably a little more, well, I might just have to build it up a little bit more. I don't know, those are pretty close. Wow. Okay. Huda, Alter Ego. Alter Ego, Huda. I don't know, those look pretty darn close, same to me. I don't know about you, but they look pretty close to me. Okay. So now, let's see here. What do I want to play with next? I think I'm going to use the Nirvana in this palette for my outer corner, Nirvana. So that kind of deeper plummy purple. And I think in this palette, it is called Echo. I think that's the same color right there, Echo. And so, yeah, that's definitely, well, yeah, that's definitely the same color there. All right, so here is the Huda Nirvana. And I'm going to use this kind of in the crease and in the outer corner. Ooh, I like that color. And definitely doing a more, I didn't kind of plan this, but I guess I'm doing a more purple look. Of course, you guys know that's like my favorite look to do. Okay, I don't know if it's the eyeshadow foundation that primer I used. Maybe is not blending as well with this darker color. But it does seem to be a little more patchy, this darker color. Kind of blend that a little bit more. Okay, so there's the Huda one. I don't know if you can see like kind of right in there how it's a bit patchier. I could spend a little more time blending it out, but it still looks a little patchy right there. And it could be the primer. It could be the primer. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Echo on the Misthaven palette. And let's see. Okay, well, right away, the color payoff isn't as strong, so you're probably going to have to use a little bit more, but I don't feel like it is as patchy on this side. Let's see here. As it is on the Huda side. At least I don't feel like it's coming off as patchy. Oops, trying not to cross-contaminate, sorry. I mean, maybe it is, and it could be that, again, it could be the eyeshadow primer that I used. But, I mean, it looks pretty similar. Like almost identical. Okay. So this is Echo in Misthaven, and this is Nirvana in Huda. I don't know, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of difference here. Especially for the difference in price. Okay, now what are we gonna do to like even get this more smoky? I think I'm going to use, let me just show you here real quick. If you see the kick up in the Huda, this Beauty Chaos and the Nirvana, you can see that there's a lot of kickback in the palette. Now, if we look at the Misthaven, you can see the kickback is, you know, still there, but it is a bit less. Okay, I think I'm going to use, I'm going to go kind of on the outer third again with this Haphazard, which is this kind of speckled purple looking glitter, and then Secrets in Misthaven. I will say I do like the way that the Alter Ego palette is set up and the way it's got its color story. I really do like that. We're going to use my Sigma E45 brush. Actually, yeah, we're going to use the E45 brush, and I'm going to go in Haphazard first. And And just kind of start working that in over the outer corner. Oh, I thought it might come out darker. Maybe I needed to go in with, let's see here. Oh, it's buildable, so that's good. I just thought it might be a little bit darker in color. And we're just gonna go right here on the lid, most of the lid here. I changed my mind, we'll go most of the lid with this, since we're doing that smoky look. Okay, now we're gonna go into Secrets in the Alter Ego palette. Get that on this eye. Oh, now see, that one's coming out more how I expected originally putting down, but oh my gosh, that is almost identical. Wow. Wow. Now it probably has a little less of the pink sparkle. So here's the Huda and then here's the Alter Ego. But I mean, it still gives that kind of same look. Okay, so we're looking pretty similar so far. Okay, so now what do we want to do? I think I want to go into the inner corner with a little bit of a like a more, yeah, I think I want to go in with the more gold in the inner corner. So I think I'm going to use what color Maverick in the Huda palette, which is this one right here. And then I'm going to use Twinkle in the Misthaven palette, which is this one right here. We're going to use that on the inner third and on the brow bone. And we will use my Sigma pencil brush E30 on this. And we'll start with Maverick from the Huda palette. We'll go in the inner corner here. Ooh, that's pretty. I haven't used this one yet, but that's pretty. I am gonna do my under eye, so don't worry, we're gonna get there. Because the smoky eye usually needs some smoke under the eye. So let's see here. Get up here in the brow bone. Pretty, pretty, definitely glittery, sparkly. Yeah, probably gonna have a little bit of fallout from that. Again, I'm gonna go into Twinkle in the Alter Ego palette. And for these brushes that I only have one of, I am really wiping off any product on my switch, which helped clean up the brush. I mean, this is almost identical to the Huda one. Wow. Wow. There's another palette that I will probably be doing the same kind of comparison. There's a couple palettes that I'll probably be doing the same kind of comparison that Alter Ego has come out with. Similar color stories. And so we'll be giving those a try too. One of my favorite all-time Huda palettes is the Rose Quartz, and they do have a very similar palette in the Alter Ego. So hopefully in the new year I will show you those, because that is like by far my absolutely most favorite palette of all time is that Rose Quartz. Okay, so now we're gonna go on the lower lash line, and I am going to use my Sigma E42 brush. I'm just gonna, so I think I'm gonna go back in with Nirvana, which was the darker color we used on the outer corner in the Huda palette. And we're just gonna kind of run it on this kind of just about the middle of the eye underneath to just really smoke this look out. And kind of blend this all together. Okay, no. really get this brush cleaned up, and we're gonna go into Echo in the Alter Ego palette. Smoke this out on this eye. Just blend this all together. Almost did it again. Almost went back over there. They're just so similar in color. It's just, it's crazy to me. I mean, wow. Wow. Okay. So I am going to use that same brush again. We're just getting it all cleaned up here on my switch. And I'm going to use the Haphazard, which was the darker kind of sparkly one, in kind of the middle third of my eye. And this is the Huda one. So we're gonna go kind of in this, almost towards the inner corner, and just, you know, blending these two together. And then we're gonna lighten up the inner corner a bit. So there's that, the Huda, the Haphazard. All right, and clean this off. And go in with the Secrets. I go in on this eye. I would say of the colors that I've tried, that this one is probably the least like the Huda one. Just because it just doesn't have the same kind of pigment, the pink pigment in it that is being featured more prominently. So I would say that the Huda one is definitely a more vivid, brighter color than what is so far showing in the Alter Ego palette. And now I'm just going to go back to my pencil brush, my E30. And I'm actually going to go in with a different color. I think, I don't know if these two are the ones that are supposed to match each other. I think that's what this is. This is the, this one is definitely a, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, no. I think what I'll do is I will use the Strong AF. I'm going to use the Strong AF and the Huda. And then I'm going to use what I believe would be the alternate for that, which is Moon. And these are a little bit darker, but I'm going to try to get the lighter parts of it for that inner corner. So this is the Huda side. Ooh, that's pretty. And again, trying to go towards the lighter. That's a pretty gold color. I like that. Or it's actually more taupey. That's pretty. All right. Now get this all cleaned off, and we're going to go in with Moon in the Alter Ego palette. I'm going to try to get into the lightest part here. Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty too. Not quite as vibrant as the Huda, but it's not too far off. That's for sure. I mean, I don't know. Almost did it again. I don't know if you can see the subtle difference like I can. I mean, I'm looking in a 10 times magnified mirror too. But so here is the Alter Ego side, and here is the Huda side. I don't know, what do you think? I'd love to hear in the comments if you think that they're pretty close. And I think definitely the Misthaven pack is definitely an alternative to spending almost $70 with tax. I'm sure wherever you're at, it's over $70, and getting this one for $24. Just my thoughts as of right now. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to use my Sephora collection. We're doing big smoky. We're going to put on false lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and do my waterline with this 12-hour in black. I don't know, do they have a different color color, they call it a different color. Yeah, black lace is what they call it. We're just gonna tight line the upper lash line. And then I'll do a little bit on the, I'm gonna do some on the lower lash line because we're definitely going for that smoky New Year's Eve last minute look. And the funny thing is I'm really liking the alter ego side better. I thought, you know, I would like the Huda side better. I think I like the inner corner color on the Huda side a little bit more, but I think I really like this. Okay. All right, so we got that on. We're gonna go ahead and let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and give my lashes a curl, and I'm gonna use my, what has become quickly my holy grail mascara, and that's L'Oreal Panorama. And I'm just gonna put on one coat because we are going to be doing false lashes. I just wanna give foundation, so I'm just gonna give them a curl and then put on one coat, and then we'll get my falsies on and finish up this look. So far, you know, again, I'm looking in a 10 times mirror, so most of you are not going to want to look at your skin in a 10 times mirror. But I will say that the foundation looks really nice. It is starting to look just a teeny bit on the cakey side. That is kind of what I have found with stick foundations that I've tried. I've tried the Ulta Beauty one. I've tried another one. I can't think of off the top of my head which brand it was. But I tend to see that they get a little more cakey on me. But this one of all of them doesn't seem to be as bad as like the Ulta Beauty one I tried, really caked up later in the day. I'm just putting on the Maybelline Super Lock to lock down the eyebrows. And let's go ahead and get a coat of mascara on, just so we have that foundation to work with. Putting on the falsies. I like it because then I can just press, you know, they blend together a little more easy, the falsies and my natural lashes. And then I'm gonna just do the bottom lash line as well. Now, a trick, if you do get some fallout from using any of your, I don't know if I curled this side, so I'm just gonna curl it again. If you get any fallout from your glitters that you're using, you can use a glitter glue. NYX has a great glitter glue that will help from getting any type of fallout from your glitter eyeshadows. So that's a really good product. Like, definitely if you're gonna use glitter, especially, you know, for a high impact look, then I would definitely use the NYX glitter glue to help keep it in place. Okay, all right, so we got the mascara on. Now, let's see here. We're gonna let that sit a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my F30 brush from Sigma, and I'm just gonna kind of brush away any fallout. There's just a little teeny bit. We'll just brush that away as much as we can. And then I'm gonna use this Lumi La Glace highlighter. I've really been liking how this is looking on the skin. Like, it just looks like your skin is wet. It's just such a pretty highlighter. And it just adds such a nice, and I don't think it really accentuates any ring, you know, any fine lines that you have. I think it does a nice job of just making your skin look, you know, giving that glow to it. So I've really been liking this product. This one's pretty new to the market. So let's see here. I'm just going to use my Ardell Demi Wispy lashes, and we're going to cut them down, and starting with a fresh pair. I can usually go about anywhere from 6 to 10 wears with my lashes. You know, if you're trying to do it on trying to be a little more savvy and more budget friendly, then that definitely is, you know, definitely helps get more wear. I'm just very careful. I clean off the glue to the best of my ability before I put on my next use. I do find I have to cut these down, but one of the things I learned from one of the gals I watch is to kind of work your band on your new lashes to kind of get it to be a little more flexible. And the reason I like these particular lashes is because the lash band is so nice. It's clear, it's thin, it doesn't look bulky when you put it on. But if you know, loosen it up a little bit, that's what one of the gals that I watch recommends. And so since I know my eye length, if you are looking and you need to measure here, I always go start in the middle and then look, okay, where this comes in the inner corner and how much I might need to take off. And your eyes are different shapes and sizes. Like I cut more off of one side than I do the other. So for this one, I just need to do a little trimming. And I mean, usually, and you want to go from the outer, the one that has the most on the edge there. And so I'm just going to cut off one little cluster. I can get my scissors to cut it. There we go. And so I'm just going to kind of trim up this edge. And then sometimes they come with this little point near the end. I try to cut that off because somehow that always ends up stabbing me a little bit. So I trim that off as well. So this will be for the Huda eye. So we're going to get that put on. And then you do the same thing with the other side. I don't think I've ever shown this process to you before. So you're getting to see me do a fresh pair and how I walk through, you know, getting them prepped for use. Sometimes they're hard to get off. I use a tweezer to kind of get them off. And then I do the same, we'll do the same thing with this one, is just start working the band to get a little more broken up, to get a little more shape towards my eyes, get a little, you know, flexibility to it. But that's one of the reasons I really like these lashes, is because of that. Now with this eye, I do usually have to cut off just a little bit more, as you can kind of, let's see here if I can kind of show you. I need to cut off like 1.5 on this side. And that just goes to show you how, you know, your eyes are different shaped a little bit, and they're different in length as well. So I cut off like 1.5 clusters, and then I'm gonna just cut off this little tip part right here so that I get that just a look that I'm looking for. Okay, so you've seen me use the, I am a big fan of the liner glue that is by Kiss in black. That also comes in clear, so if you want to do a more clear look. But I love this because you just draw on the line and put the lash on and you're good to go. Now with traditional lash glues, you know, you usually need to let them kind of sit and turn a little bit from the white to a little more purple color to get them a little more sticky. It just takes a little longer. I just find that this is easier, and especially with this smoky type of a look, you definitely want to add that extra you know, black line to just give it more drama. So I think my mascara's had a sufficient enough time to dry down, and we're gonna go ahead and just draw on this first line. And again, this is the Huda side. And then I can just go right in with the lash, which is what I really like about this particular application method, is just being able to go right away in and put my lashes down. And then I just press that in. And I'm using the Ulta Beauty lash applicator. Let's go ahead and press that into the glue. And then I just go ahead and use this to kind of blend my natural lashes into the falsies. So there is one. Go ahead and do a little shake. We'll do a little more filling in with my Maybelline Precise, just to fill in some of those maybe areas that need a little more filling in for the liner. But this just makes it so much easier to put your lashes on by using the liner, in my opinion. You just don't have to wait, which works for someone like me. When sometimes patience is not a virtue for me, this definitely makes it a little bit easier, especially if I'm spending more time like putting like this type of a dramatic eye look. And I want to just really get, you know, I don't even mind sometimes, you know, walking out the door and just, you know, having this be dramatic look, and I'm okay with that. You know, I like the drama of the eyes. So, but that went on pretty quickly. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of tight lining just to kind of blend this all together. We definitely have a dramatic New Year's Eve look going on here, which I'm excited about. Now let's go ahead and use my Master Precise. I love this liner. This black, it just does such a fine line and does such a good job of just blending the lash glue and the band and just making it all look more cohesive, because I don't put the lash glue any farther like you see I'm doing into the inner corner there. I don't put lash glue there because I don't want it to like stick. Okay, so here is the look. I think the only thing we have left to do is the lips, and I'm going to use the setting spray to set it all down. So let me go do my hair, get dressed, and I'll come back and finish up and we'll talk about the products. Okay, hair's done, clothes getting ready for a New Year's Eve fun outfit. Let's go ahead and use a setting spray so this locks this all down in place for our last minute New Year's Eve look. I just love this e.l.f. Now, I'm not a big, huge setting spray person because I have very dry skin. I don't have a problem usually with my makeup slipping or coming off. But if we're gonna go out and we're gonna have some fun for New Year's Eve, let's lock it down so it is not going anywhere. And this e.l.f. Power Grip setting spray is one of my favorites by far. I love the mist. So I'm gonna get that put on. And because the mist is so fine, it's not going to make your mascara bleed or anything like that. So that's what I love about this particular product. I have been prepping my lips with my Aquaphor, which If you have been with me at all, know that this is by far how I prep my lips because I have extremely dry lips. And we're going to be using a matte lipstick, which can be drying to dry lips. So that's why I always prep my lips with this Aquaphor. We're going to use the Ballet Pink L'Oreal Color Riche. I tried this on in a recent video and I was pleasantly surprised that it did not bleed. And I just want to go a nice base for this matte lipstick. And because I did such a smoky, bold eye look, we're going to go a little more muted on the lip so that the eyes really are the star of the show. So that's why we're just keeping it a little more neutral on the bottom part of the face. And so here is the color. This is really pretty. Really pretty. All right. Now I do still have a little bit of my Aquaphor on, but that went on very creamy. For a matte lipstick, wow. I usually tend to stay away from matte lipsticks because they are so drying. But that feels very creamy. I like that. I'll have to get back to you and play with this a little bit more and see how it dries down. You know, if it, again, lipsticks are going to come off like when you eat, when you drink water, whenever you're doing that. So this type of lipstick is not going to stay on all night long. If you need a lipstick that is going to stay on all night long, you want to use the Maybelline Vinyl Inks. Those are amazing with amazing lasting power. But if we're just going for this last minute New Year's Eve look for a night out on the town, you're probably going to reapply your lipstick anyway. So I wanted to give this a try. And then I wanted to try these new Glow Reviver lip oils that have a glimmer to them. And I think I said earlier, this is Divine Wine. This looks so pretty. Their lip oils are very nice. They're very nourishing. I've really enjoyed them. So let's go ahead and put this over top. And this would also help with any type of matte lipstick. Nourishing your lips is using a lip oil over the top. Oh, that has a nice little shine to it. I definitely think you could probably wear this alone. It doesn't feel gritty at all for being like a glitter or a glimmer lip oil. Maybe a teeny little bit, but not much. Okay, so here is the final look. I will also insert what this looks like in natural light here. Okay, well, let's talk about these products. My goodness, you know, the real stars of the show are the eyeshadows and the eyes. And I used the, let's switch this up here. Yeah, I used the Pretty Grunge on this eye. And I used the Misthaven on this eye. And honestly, you can save your money on this palette and just pick up this Misthaven. I mean, the look is pretty dang close. I have to say, it is really, really close. Like, I couldn't tell the difference. So, super excited about this brand and this particular palette. I probably will play with both just because I spent the money on this. But definitely would recommend highly picking up the Misthaven palette if you've been looking at the Pretty Grunge palette, didn't want to drop the $70 on it and pick up this for $24, you would be extremely happy, I think. Let's talk about, I've got the e.l.f. Holy Grail thing for me underneath my foundation. I used the Pretty Fresh by ColourPop concealer under the eyes. This Fenty Beauty Blur Stick, foundation stick. I am noticing that it is getting a little kicky in my fine lines and wrinkles. That happens almost with any type of product. I get a little bit of creasing in my fine lines and wrinkles because that's what I have. I smile a lot. I'm very expressive. And so it tends to settle into those places, which really doesn't bother me all that much. So far I'm impressed with this. I definitely would say that this is the best stick foundation that I have tried. I will keep playing with that and maybe look for a Foundation Friday coming up with this. Used my Holy Grail contour in Laguna Beach from ColourPop as well. Then this jelly blush, I'm pretty impressed. The color that came out on this was beautiful. I really like the color. We'll see how well it holds up. It is supposed to be a stain, so it should really hold. I didn't put a powder over it just to see kind of how it would hold up. So I'm impressed with this. Pretty color. I honestly don't know how much I would particularly use this, but I do like the color of it, and I may use it more. Then I have the Lumi La Glace as my highlighter, which I just love the kind of wet look that this gives. This is definitely moving up to be one of my favorite highlighters, probably Holy Grail status. It might dethrone some of my other ones. So definitely impressed with that. We used the NYX Micro Brow in Cool Ash Brown, and then the Maybelline Build-A-Brow. I think this is in the brown black color, and then the Maybelline Super Lock. If you do not want your eyebrows to go anywhere, this is going to lock them down. It is amazing. I use the Pretty Smart eyeshadow primer. Then, of course, on the eyes, I used my falsies, the Ardell Demi Wispies. And then the Kiss Lash Glue, the Sephora Black Lace as the waterline, and then of course my Maybelline Precise to just finish off the look. And then for the lips, I think we're down to the very end, using this new combination of the L'Oreal in Ballet Pink, and then this color, this new color in the Color Fetish from Milani in Flushed, and then the new Glimmer Lip Oil Reviver in Divine Wine, I believe it was the color. So really liking this combination. So I hope that this inspired you to do a fun, dark, smoky look for New Year's Eve. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's, and I look forward to seeing you in 2025. And remember, you get to choose every day to dress with purpose.